Hi, we're back and we're into chapter 2 that will build on chapter 1, which had to do with the Greek verbs, and now we're going to jump into the Greek nouns and then be able to put some sentences together. So let's start off here. As I indicated previously, the second building block of a grammar is nouns: people, places, and things. Now, we have a formula for identifying nouns: gender, number, and case. We had a formula for the Greek verb: tense, voice, mood, person, number. Now for nouns, we're concerned with another formula: gender, number, and case, GNC. And we're not talking about a health chain. All right, now in English, a noun is identified by its number, singular or plural: a boat or boats, church or churches. In Greek, each noun has a gender: masculine, feminine, or neuter. So we see a couple words here: ha artas, which means the bread or a loaf; ta prosopon, that means the face; he ecclesia, that means the church. The endings tell the gender of a noun. With gender, please don't think of male or female or neuter. Thus, there's nothing male about a loaf of bread, or there's nothing feminine about a church. It's just the way the words are learned in the grammar. Now, Greek nouns. In chapter 2, we will encounter the masculine nouns and the neuter nouns. These are called the masculine and neuter nouns of the second declension. It means grouping. And then in chapter 3, we'll encounter the feminine nouns. But let's focus our attention on the masculine and neuter nouns, since they're in chapter 2. Now, words that end in os, the nouns, os, are masculine. So you'll see down below the word anthropos and artos. Anthropos has the omicron sigma ending, that's masculine, and same with artos, omicron sigma. So words that are learned in the vocabulary with the os ending are masculine. And then in chapter 2, we'll also see the neuter nouns of the second declension. These are nouns that end in on. They are neuter. Thus, for example, you have the word biblion. The on there is the ending. Ergon. You see the ending there with on. And you'll notice that in the fine print, off to the, you'll see the word the, and also in parentheses. That's the definite article. So if you wanted to say the man, it would be ha anthropos. Or if you wanted to say the book, it would be ta biblion. Now, the key for learning gender is the original vocabulary word. There will be a stem plus an ending. That ending determines the gender. So with a word such as anthropos, look at the omicron sigma. That's the ending. Anthrop is the stem, and os is the ending. Now, that basic stem will then have multiple endings. Now, the second element of a noun is its number, singular, plural, in the formula gender, number, and case. So take a look at the two words there: anthropos, a man, and anthropoi. Notice the different endings. You have os for the singular and oi for the plural. So the oi is built off the stem anthrop. The last item in our formula of GNC is the C for case. Case tells us how a noun functions in a sentence. Normally in English, we determine how nouns function by word order. but this certainly doesn't hold true in Greek. What determines how a noun functions is its case. All right, let's review some English grammar, how nouns are used. All right, we have an English sentence here. A woman wrote a letter. What word is the subject? The subject of the verb is a woman. In Greek, this is called the nominative case. And that case will have an ending that indicates that it's the subject. All right, we have a similar letter here, sentence here. A woman's daughter wrote a letter. What word in the sentence shows possession? The word woman's with the apostrophe shows possession. In Greek, it is called the genitive case, and that will have a separate ending as well. All right, take a look at this sentence. A woman wrote a letter to the IRS. What word in this sentence indicates the indirect object? To the IRS. The IRS indirectly receives the action of writing. In Greek, this is called the dative case, normally translated by the preposition to, but you'll see there some other prepositions are used as well. In, with, by, and for. All right, in the same sentence, what is the direct object? A letter is the direct object. The letter directly receives the action of the verb wrote. In Greek, this is called the accusative case. That is the case of the direct object. All right, one more sentence. Sally, why did you write a letter to the IRS? Who is being addressed? Sally. Sally is directly addressed. In Greek, this is called the vocative case, and it's sometimes called the calling case. Now, here they are all put together. We have the nominative case, which is the subject. An example there, Jesus spoke to the disciples. Jesus is the subject of the verb. Then we have the genitive case. This is the case of possession. Jesus spoke the word of God. Of God, or God's word, expresses that. God owns the word, if you will. Then we have the dative case, indirect object. Jesus spoke the word to John. John indirectly receives the action of speaking the word. And then we have the accusative case, which is the case of the direct object. Jesus spoke the word. And finally, the vocative case. This is the case of direct address. John, did you speak to the disciples? So 5 cases here. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. And remember the formula. Gender, number, and case. Thanks.